man.
I think we're live.
Oh, there we go. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Awesemo.com live before lock show. I don't do it like a Hillary Clinton speech pattern thing there. I'm no political jokes. I'm Chris Spags, joined by the star of our here YouTube channel, Josh Engelman.
What's up? I got political jokes for you on that one if you'd like.
Yeah, well, we'll go back into that. We'll tease that out and save that for later in the stream on this bustling Friday. I'm sure it'll be. First things first, though, if you are joining the stream right now, go to playline.com/r/awesemo, AWESEMO. If you sign up now for the first time for Playline, you'll get a free $5. If you deposit any money, you can play against all the sweet boys we have on staff, including Awesemo himself. Grand prize is $2,000. All you have to do is pick Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Anthony Davis's lines. So go over there now, playline.com/r/awesemo. It's a play line. You're playing lines. Do they have a slogan?
Did you see the other prize?
No. Is it my
Alex tweeted out, if anyone beats all 40 of his lines, free month subscription to Awesemo.com.
Wow. And as we all know, those premium memberships on Awesemo.com are priceless, really, or just a pretty decent price, but emotionally priceless. So yeah, you get one of those too if you take down all of Awesemo's entries. That's nice. We're headhunting stakes. I like that. Go try to beat the best DFS player in the world and get some bragging rights and all that.
Yeah, you're going to need to win that shit. Don't think you're going to do that with like a 97th place entry.
No, probably not. You're probably going to have to get in the top 5 or so. But hey, very possible, though. And you know what? If you use your brain. Use the article that's also on Awesemo.com. Awesemo gave you his own projections for Anthony Davis. So, boom. You can beat him using his own information. That's like the art of war kind of shit. Hello, chat. Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Josh, you want to catch people up real fast on your baseball results? I don't know if you did it in the morning video, but if you did, I'm sure the live stream would love to hear more.
Yeah. Needed the Blue Jays-Indians game yesterday to just basically end. Had 2 in the top 10, and then Solarte hit a grand slam, 2 more runs from the Indians, and I lost over $1,000 because of it. So, you know, just one of those days where your winnings go from 2,000 to 800 in an extra inning game that you have a part of.
I mean, it's just one of those days. That's a microcosm of life. Sometimes things are going great, and then you hit a bump in the road, and sometimes it's a grand slam from Solarte. Sometimes it's, you know, illness. It's just, you just have to overcome. It's a new day. It's a new day.
Just like all I needed was Lindor to not go yard in the 9th or the 8th, whenever that happened. If he doesn't hit that home run, I'm all good.
And you thought he was helping you. That's the irony of it all. It seemed like he was helping.
I knew I didn't want that. I just knew that I had him in a lot, but I knew that I didn't want that game to continue. I was plenty happy to take my chips and run.
Yeah, Jake Schleisman pointing out that we do have one winner on the stream. I guess Josh the one, but not as good as it could have been. But we do have one winner. We have the King of Dongs, who retains his crown of Dongs. I, of course, did in fact pick a home run for the second straight day from a fairly random asshole. Daniel Palka went yard. So thank you, Jack Schleisman, for recognizing that. I don't know where this special power came from. It's going to really suck if this is like my one skill in life. And like, it didn't even fucking help me last night because I priced in the lineups that I had with Palka and Reynaldo Lopez, both of whom were in the negative numbers. So it's kind of sucked, but boy, it's gratifying just from a humble brag standpoint.
It's not gratifying at all. At least not for me. I'm fairly certain it's not gratifying for Jake. Neither of us are happy. I'm not happy for you.
But you both were impressed, and that's really all I care about, is that I'm getting my coworkers to think that I'm some sort of wizard who is really good at surmising when these mediocre white baseball players are going to hit home runs.
You need to play that game where you only pick homers on DK.
Oh, is that a thing? That might be.
I think so. Or maybe it's on FanDuel. I don't know. I've never played it because obviously I don't have the same skill set.
That's true. Actually, you know what? I was pretty good on my takes yesterday. I was all over Kevin Love, too. I even had him as my thumbnail about him redeeming himself in the eyes of America. I really, if you guys aren't reading my column every day, The Switch and Hedge, I think you'll enjoy how the headlines are getting because I'm running out of, like, clever turns of phrase to use. So now I'm, like, personally attacking Kevin Love in the headlines and saying he's a disgrace to LeBron in America.
That game was insane.
That was fantastic. And Love was great. Love was fully back, and he completely crippled Tristan Thompson at, like, 35% ownership.
So I coached 7th grade basketball the year after I graduated high school, and anytime we played in any of the pickup games that we played against like either my 7th graders or my buddies' 8th graders, we were significantly better than them. Obviously, that's how it felt for LeBron last night. I felt like he was playing like a full grade, but like he got to play the JV game, even though he's really good. It was disgusting. It was so disgusting.
The fadeaways and stuff were like ridiculous. Like he really, again, people really get shitty with you if you say Jordan-esque, I'm referring to LeBron, but those fadeaways were just straight 96 Jordan, like when he didn't have the athleticism. And like for LeBron, he's just gassed. But when he doesn't want to take it to the rack, you just turn around for an 18-foot fadeaway with a hand in his face, and it's unbelievable. Like the command over the ball.
CJ McCollum tweeted something about the way that he creates space on those fadeaways. I went back and watched a couple of them. He creates so much distance going back on the fade compared to what Jordan did. Like he's multiple feet from where he started from. I can't imagine anybody ever getting to that. If he gets that down, it's gonna be a tough shot for him, for anybody to defend. I mean, it already is, but like if he gets more consistent with that shot on a night-to-night basis, it's crazy.
He's obviously had that shot like time to time in his career, and I've seen people like who are basketball heads being like, "Oh yeah, well LeBron." People talk about LeBron's fadeaway like he didn't always have it. He didn't always have it this consistently, where he can dominate the ball from that position and then just bury shots. And then you're right, like he doesn't have the dead legs Jordan had when he was doing it, because Jordan was I think like 36, and obviously wasn't training as like to the same degree that LeBron is with the healing and all that. But boy, like LeBron is, you know what? As a stream, I think we'll go on a limb. LeBron, great basketball player, really great.
I think I think he's fine.
he's okay. I'd roster him.
Yeah.
People asking basketball questions already. We will do basketball. Let's do basketball up front. We'll go back to baseball. We'll also make our home run picks. We'll see if I can keep my streak going. If Josh can get on the board, it's hard, man. It's hard picking home runs. So don't feel bad for him.
I seriously hate this. This is the worst gimmick yet.
I'm glad that we graduated from me losing at bets to me winning one that like I have no right to be winning. It's fantastic.
I'm not. I prefer this game that we play when it ends up in me eating a spicy chicken sandwich that I didn't pay for.
Well, you know what? At least you're not paying anything to me, and I'm just giving these picks out. It's you guys at 3% ownership hitting home runs. Tonight, I don't think it's going to be 3% tonight, but I have another. I'm digging a little deep for mine. Though actually, you did reference him today in your article, which kind of made me feel like maybe he's not a great pick.
Matt Joyce?
No, we'll save it. I'll tease it out, but it was in one of your articles.
Fuck, I don't even remember who I wrote about today.
Josh is playing basketball tonight because I convinced him on DraftKings, because the pricing on DraftKings is really something to see. It is. And Josh told me, and I don't know that this is like a thing that's common knowledge. Though again, I looked at all the tournaments this week. All the NBA tournaments have been filling, so I don't even get it. But DraftKings hasn't adjusted the prices at all. Everybody is like crazy cheap. A lot of guys can easily get to 7x value, at least from how I project it. And yeah, guys like Jay Crowder are not priced up at all, even though he's had 2 straight games in which he's been about 6x, maybe close to 7. But Josh, you just put your lineups in. And you didn't look at the numbers really, so how did they shake out for you?
I don't know. Let's find out. I'll pull it back up.
Okay.
I've got 20 regular lines and then 20 lines in the pick'em. I've never done pick'em before, so first time for everything and all that.
Mm-hmm. The wife's out of town. Might as well test your various virginities.
Right. Wife's out of town, so naturally I'm going to play pick'em. Those things go hand in hand.
It's more about the freedom you get. Just boys will be boys. Boys will play pick'em.
Exactly.
People are already asking about Burks and stuff. Tell you what, I like Burks a lot, and Exum. I think they both are fantastic. Anybody saying Burks is chasing does not know Utah Jazz basketball. Alec Burks has been phenomenal all year when Ricky Rubio is out. think he's averaged like a point per minute, fantasy point per minute since Rubio's been out, or whenever he's off the court, rather. Burks is not chasing, and Burks is at a fantastic price. So both of those guys I like. But Josh, what do you got?
Alrighty, my top guys are Mirotic, AD, Drew Holiday, Eton Moore, Gobert, Looney, Capella, Klay Thompson. Those are all guys that I have in 50% or more lines.
Yeah, Klay is really jumps out price-wise, especially because he shot like such dog shit last time. I think he shot 4 for 20, which was I put a nice reference in the column today. But yeah, I think that he's got to bounce back. I honestly like everybody on the Warriors side and the New Orleans side, to be honest. Like I think they're all that game in particular looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm loaded up on Pels tonight.
I think it's going to be a very highly owned side of the slate, though. So I mean, there's a lot of good value on the Jazz too, like we talked about. Burks is a okay. Antoine, we're not doing this tonight, man. You're just wrong on this. Burks has been good all year. If you look at the logs, every time Rubio's missed the game, Burks has averaged, I think, around 20 points, fantasy points per game. So again, he's right around that 5x spot you need him to be.
For the record, I have no Burks.
Really? Even on DK? 4,200?
Yeah. Nothing.
Well,
nothing.
I don't think he's going to have a 30-point night tonight, but I think he's going to be in that 20, 25-point range, which is fine. That opens up enough room to get to all these other guys.
The website that hates you by not giving you a subscription has them projected for 15.
Yeah, no, I know. They also had OG Anunoby projected for like 20, so they can suck them balls.
Oh, I love you guys, and I love everything you do for me.
I don't like your shitty projections on cheap players. I don't like when they overgrade guys pretty often or undergrade guys pretty often. I think they need to be better at projecting things. I'm just going to be mean to them.
I've got Burks projected at 17.5, I think.
17.5. I mean, look, that's not great, but I don't know, man. He just rips rebounds. He gets layups. He gets to the line. He does all the stuff that you kind of want a guy who plays limited minutes to do. I wish that he were getting the full run of minutes, or at least one of them were. But yeah, no problem at all. This Jake guy in the chat, Jake Hari, of course, who cannot predict a home run, but is pretty good at other parts of baseball. Actually, he can predict home runs, just not when they count. Jake is suggesting a Yankee stack tonight. Let's talk baseball. Josh, Yankees, a very obvious stack. Did you end up with them in your lineups?
Last I looked, yes. Let me see what I have here. Yankees. Yeah, I've got quite a bit Yankees. No Sabathia, but a good bit of Gardner, Judge, Gregorius, Stanton, and Neil Walker.
Oh, Neil Walker, really?
Really?
Okay.
Yankees total is 6.2. It's higher than games I've seen in cores this year. Walker 2,000, so minimum salary on FanDuel. No brainer for me as part of this stack. Okay.
Well, I'll give you my pick, my dong pick of the day, which I would usually like to tease out a little more, but we're already on it. Miguel Andujar is the guy tonight who I think is going yard.
Okay.
I think it's weird. People haven't referenced him in any of the Yankee stack articles, at least a lot. But you did. So I was like, oh, okay, Josh is on him.
Jake and I both talked about him this morning. I think Jake actually mentioned him specifically. I don't want to take too much credit.
So yeah, I mean, not including our staff, but again, I read a bunch of articles around just to get a read on what the industry is saying and what other people who might know more think.
Andujar websites?
There are. Sometimes they don't give me free things. Sometimes they do, and I still don't like them. But no, one in particular I'm thinking of referenced like a full Yankee stack and left out Andujar, and I was surprised because Andujar has had massive games this year, and looks great from an ISO power and a BABIP standpoint, which is all I care about. Yeah. What are we doing pitcher-wise?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who I'm picking for the dong tonight.
You're doing that? Okay, cool.
Well, I don't know. If you're talking about Andujar, then I need to pick somebody now.
I don't want to put you on the spot. I know it's hard for you.
Oh, I hate you so much. God, I want somebody that is like off the beaten path.
Just take Ohtani and be wrong.
I hate you so much.
The thing is, I thought about taking Ohtani tonight just to like stick it to you. If you want a backup home run pick, it's Ohtani.
If that happens, I'll be so mad. Hold on. I want Adam Duvall.
Ooh, okay. I actually played him the other night because you recommended him, and he was dog shit.
Yep. So. Yep. That's why I'm going back to the well.
That's fair. All right, I don't mind it. I don't mind Adam Duvall. Don't have many lineups, but Josh knows baseball, just not home runs.
So wait, I think we should be giving you credit for Chirinos instead of Palka last night. That's a no-go.
No, why? I clearly said Palka, and then if there's weather issues, then like that would prohibit it. Then I would go Chirinos.
Whatever.
Chirinos had a pretty nice day.
Sure, it's not a home run
against a pitcher who was very chalky.
I don't like how your column is all in green on here.
At least yours is all in red, so it's like a nice festive thing we have going.
You picked Andujar, right?
Yep.
All right. Diddy Dong is updated for the day.
Oh, so Jake was right yesterday? Good job, Jake. I didn't realize that.
Oh, he wasn't. Did I color it incorrectly?
Yeah, he's green.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
Sorry, Jake.
He didn't go young.
I didn't think Chris Davis had a good day, but I was willing to believe it. I was happy for Jake.
See,
for a
Jake's
second
mad about the contingency picks as well.
See, but it was just the weather one, and I still went with the guy as the main guy. I was like, Palka's the guy.
Yeah. That's what somebody that's cheating would say.
You know what? I'm juicing these guys up. I'm giving them some greenies before they hit the field, traveling around the country just to drug them and let them hit some homers.
Oh God.
Are we gonna have Jake make a pick in the chat just so he has the same record?
Oh, you said his pick would have been Andujar.
Oh, I mean, you can take the same guy if you're a coward.
Ooh, nice.
Basketball. There's some basketball questions coming in. Stacking Rockets is fine. On FanDuel, honestly, I don't know what you guys should be doing. I didn't look at that at all. Besides the prices and going like, what the fuck is up with the prices here? So that was surprising. The FanDuel pricing is very tight. I don't know where you're going for that. Ba Mute, I don't think is a great play. I think he's not getting more than 20 minutes because PJ Tucker is taking his minutes and being fantastic. So unless you're going to fade Tucker, don't go Ba Mute. Oh my God! Please stop.
I didn't look at FanDuel at all this time. So.
Ooh, that's a reversal of roles.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Like I looked it up just to go like to cross-reference, and other than like the Burks and Exum tier of guys, they really priced up. Like Capella's like I think almost 9,000 on there or something. Like it's not fun prices. Like I think DraftKings, whatever they're doing, I would rather play games like that where I'm making tough choices about guys who are going to score a bunch instead of like doing the whole like Mba Mute thing. Tired of playing Mba Mute.
I love Mba Mute, but I think it's just because I like saying his name.
He's a great real life player, but he's not like for fantasy stuff. Like his ceiling's like 25 points at that, and that's if he's going nuts, having a big day. But he's like a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Jake wasn't kidding about. Oh, all right. Jake's going with Pujols then because he's not a coward and is trying to steal my pick.
Jake's going with Pujols.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mike Leake is a bad pitcher. He does jump off the page as being a bad pitcher, so I don't mind that.
Jake talks about all he hates Pujols. I can't believe this is happening. What a change! What a weird day.
Maybe he watched that Hilarity for Charity skit and now he loves Pujols.
Show him what kind of animal you are.
That is funny out of context. That line. I wish I'd watched that with friends so I could make that reference over and over again. We might have to do it on the stream.
I was crying before my wife was about to watch it, so I think I ruined it for her because she had no idea what was about to be coming, and I couldn't breathe.
It's a funny, yeah. If you haven't watched it, Josh made me watch a thing on Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity special. There is a segment that's illustrated by Justin Roiland, who's the creator of Rick and Morty. It's very funny, very out of left field. You can't find that on YouTube because Netflix is copywriting it, probably because it's a little ribald of a, of a sketch. But very funny in a real dark, interesting way. Marlins in play. What do you think about the Marlins?
I'm choking on water. Hold on.
Show him the animal you are, Josh.
Oh, God. Oh, man. That was rough. I can't even think about it. I just picture it. I picture the illustration. I picture them talking about it, and I fall apart.
It is funny. I think you guys will appreciate it if you watch it.
It's just so preposterous.
It is. It definitely is. Twin stack, Courtney Preston, not a bad play. I like the Twins. To me, so my strategy tonight, I saw a couple stacks and a couple pitchers I really wanted to target, and I just said, this is it. I'm not going to try to overthink this. And that was the Yankees for me, but the Twins as well. And who's my third stack? I'm trying to think. If only the DraftKings app were a little faster. Boom. And yeah. Oh, and the A's, of course. The A's I like a lot too. I think the A's have a couple guys. I think Chris Davis also breaks out of a slump tonight. If I hadn't already made so many great home run picks, I would add him to that.
Wait, which Chris Davis?
Not Crash. Chris. Greek spelling, Chris. Even though he's very not Greek. Jake, what's up with the weather in Mexico? Cisco's asking, but we can also ask Josh.
I don't know. It doesn't look good. That's for sure.
That's a shame. Mexican weather. I'm with Bueller tonight too, so I'm officially, because of the stacks I went with, I am fading the higher price pitchers. I'm riding with my boy Kingham. I have Kingham in every lineup.
Every lineup?
I'm only doing 4.
That's still too many.
I think he looks great. I think he's in an okay, or in a matchup that could be okay for the other side. But I like the numbers I saw. I like the things that I looked up about him. I watched video.
Oh, well, I mean, if that's what happened.
Yeah, that way it confirmed it for me. I was like, good stuff. Good stuff. That's, I think, what I said to myself. And that was it.
You know what? Can I change mine? And you're not going to be mad when I do it.
Okay, sure.
I'm taking the debuting Joey Bats from my Atlanta Braves.
You know what? I like that pick. I like that pick in general. So I don't know if you noticed, I like picking guys who are entering the lineup. That was actually the same thing for Healy and Palka. So both those guys I felt like were coming into the lineup. So I fully support that. I think guys play with a little more chip on their shoulder. A great data point to reference.
I love that both 2 days in a row I've changed my pick.
The thing is, I don't, as long as it's in before lock, that's how I feel about it. You can late swap with me anytime, buddy.
I forgot he was up again, so that's honestly why I did it.
No, that's fair. I'm okay with it. San Diego LA game we played in Mexico. Oh, okay. Sure. I still don't have an issue with anybody. I actually like both pitchers in that game, in the San Diego LA game, but obviously I would like them.
I'm not going to touch that game at all.
Really?
No.
The weather that bad?
I think so.
Well, that's not ideal, then. I do have Zach Wheeler, too. I like Zach Wheeler. I think he's my third pitcher. Actually, you know what? I didn't get Bueller at all. Never mind. I liked Bueller, but didn't get to him.
I don't like that there's a guy with the last name Bueller up, because everyone's going to make stupid fucking Ferris Bueller jokes till the end of time with this dude.
Do people, though, under 30 know Ferris Bueller? Or maybe 27? I don't think that's a generational one.
I don't know.
I feel like they wouldn't get if you were doing a Bueller joke. It might fall on deaf ears. Anybody in the chat under 25? Do you know Bueller as a reference?
They're gonna be like, "Oh, you mean grown up Simba?"
If even that, Lion King is also getting kind of old. That's why they're redoing it.
Live action, right?
Yep. Oh, Jake Hari knows Ferris went to a Cubs game, but he's not seen the movie.
I think Seth Rogen's Pumbaa.
Oh, is he?
I think so.
Actually, I think I remember seeing that like that cast thing where they had the people's names with like the animated photo. Oh yeah, there we go. The young guys. So it's at least 50-50 that people don't really know Ferris Bueller. Maybe 60-40.
It's a great movie.
It's a good movie about like friendship and finding yourself and being less of an asshole. I think those are all helpful lessons from it.
Yeah, I don't think that he stopped being an asshole after that movie ended.
Oh no way! He's too young. Like Zach Morris was like didn't learn anything ever. I feel like Ferris and Zach were cut from the same cloth. Just a couple of rapscallions.
Yeah, all Ferris had to do was make that parade pause and take the time out, and he'd have been fine.
That's true. We could have stopped a lot of problems if he
or
had
just
Zach
done
Morris.
the timeout at the spoiler alert. Done the timeout at the end of the movie and just casually walked home instead of running like crazy.
That was actually pretty athletic for like a very clearly not athletic kid.
Yeah, I never got the sense that Matthew Broderick was like athletic in any way.
They said he was a champion hurdler. Whatever. Some more basketball chat. Just chime in with whatever sports. It's Friday. It's Freaky Friday. Woo! Let's get wild. Speaking of Freaky Friday, do you listen to Lil Dicky at all?
Love him, dude. Love him.
So I think he's funny. I generally find him a little overrated. So not to undercut your love, but his song with Chris Brown is hilarious and so brilliant.
I've got the album downstairs, like legit record of his first album.
Oh really? I mean, look, I remember when he broke. He actually broke because of one of my friends who went to college, or his now wife went to college with him, and they ran the first video on Bro Bible, and then that led to Lil Dicky's whole viral thing, and then started from there.
Yeah, we're big fans in the Engelman house.
Have you heard the song I'm talking about, the one with Chris Brown?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how many times I've listened to it on Play Music.
It's just a great song, and it's like I found it very inventive, but also like very musically good. Fit all the stuff I look for.
Have you ever heard his track "Russell Westbrook on a Farm"?
I have not.
Very good. Very.
I'll put that on my to-do list.
Yeah, it's not like a corny one he's trying to spit for real. I mean, and does a really great job in my opinion. But it's all about like if Russell Westbrook was born on a farm and didn't know that he was any good at basketball, like how would he go through his life? And that's sort of how he's equating himself to hip hop in that regard.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think that he's probably more creative than I give him credit for, because I think I always filed him away as like, oh, he's like a parody rapper. But like, I don't know. I thought the Chris Brown song, I was like, this is actually pretty clever. And I think I listened to a couple of other ones without listening to the titles. And was like, you know what? Like, I should give this guy a chance. And I just didn't follow up on it. Classic me.
I've played it 26 times on Google Play Music.
That's pretty good. It's a good run. Google Play Music. Interesting. I'm a Spotify.
So, see, I would prefer it. But by having Play Music, you get YouTube Red for free. So ad-free YouTube as well. So it's like, okay, I get essentially Spotify with ad-free YouTube. That's
I think
eventually
I do it. All of these things are going to be like how cable packages are, because like they're already doing it with Spotify and Hulu, where you pay like an extra $3 and you get Hulu with your Spotify membership.
Yeah.
And I think like that's kind of the way the internet's going to go, especially if the net neutrality stuff ever fully gets traction. But it's just going to be like, yeah, you pay this one company and you can tack on all the features, and they'll all have like some sort of revenue sharing shit, which is a little communisty now that I think about it. Shameful. One Rocket to have for DKGPP, Ariza, Gordon, or Tucker? That's an interesting question.
Ariza, Gordon, or Tucker? Probably
Gordon will be the highest owned of that three, I think. Actually, let me see what we have for that.
I would say Ariza would be the guy that I would want in that scenario. In
I think
GPP.
He's been dog shit this series. I mean, it depends how many entries you're doing. If you're doing one, I would probably take the safety of Gordon, which is a thing I don't like saying. But Gordon had a really good game the other day and shot like 5 for 20 or something. He was like an awful shooting percentage. We have Ariza being at around 20%. Gordon would be around 30, and then Tucker is around Ariza. So there's not a big game theory thing. I think Tucker's going to be higher owned than we have him projected for currently, because he's been on a roll recently. I'm actually a little confused by some of our ownership projections today, to be honest, but that can help you think about it. I mean, I think our people know data better than I do, but like, I don't think Alec Burks is going to be as low owned as we have him. Yeah. Take a look. If you're a premium member, check out our ownership projections. See how you feel about them. Chime in the chat. We can always A to D on things at awesemo.com.
Yeah, I bet you're gonna eat a D.
Only a crown of dongs that'll keep piling up day by day.
Like I said yesterday, I picture it like a unicorn.
I was thinking more like I can add like a singular dildo to the crown each time that I take down.
Like stickers on the back of a helmet?
Yep, yes, exactly. That was actually my favorite thing about high school football. You really felt special for getting a fucking sticker.
I never played.
Oh man, I didn't have a ton of stickers. A lot of special team tackle stickers for this guy.
I was way too busy scrounging up a couple bucks to buy a case of beer or like a dime bag or something.
I didn't do any substances at all in high school. Only until college. Then college just went off the rails.
Yeah, I drank a lot in high school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt like I was an athlete in high school, even though I was not going anywhere with it. Got a D3 offer to Tufts, so no big deal.
I just kept quitting everything that I did because I preferred drinking during those events instead of actually being there.
It's a classic situation for a stoner.
The only thing that I played all 4 years of high school was golf.
You know what? If you're going to do a sport, that's one that really builds. Like that's like learning Mandarin. You're learning like a life skill.
I was so bad. So bad.
People talk at Trevor Ariza. Ariza has not been too involved in the offense. So, yeah, that's what worries me a little. That's why I think he actually might be a little lower than we have him for. But 20% feels about right in a 2-game slate. I think the opportunity is there for him to do more just because there could be a bit of a squeaky wheel. But Ariza, I don't think – I don't like him tonight. I wouldn't play a lot of him. I'd have maybe one or two if you're playing a bunch of entries.
Yeah, I don't love Ariza, but I think he makes for a nice GPP play. He's the type of guy that pops off for like 50 sometimes.
It's true. You can always rack up those corner threes pretty fast, and there's a logic there, especially given how the Jazz are not fantastic at defending that. And they're playing favors for 20 minutes a game, and he just, like, even if he plays well, he's kind of lost out there defensively and offers no value.
Yeah.
Who's the player that you would pay up for, AD or Harden?
AD. For sure, AD for me.
Yeah. I think it's hard to disagree with that. The total
for that game is like 235 or something.
Yeah. It's gone up too at points of the day.
Yeah.
I agree. I think you can get to both, to be honest. Like I think it's sort of tempting. I actually have one lineup where I got to AD, Harden, and Durant on DraftKings, which I felt pretty good about, even though like there's probably no way that's going to be worthwhile from a projection standpoint. It's just nice to have those in there because what if all those guys get 80? We don't know.
Yeah, that's typical.
But there are a couple nights though where like, especially when LeBron and Westbrook were going hard in the first round, they were both on elimination games and both guys put up I think 75 or 80, and that's what won. It was just you just had to fit those guys in. Anyone playing a center not named Gobert or Capella? I assume that's a FanDuel question, but on DraftKings, I think that Draymond Green is a fantastic pivot who hasn't seen any price increase despite the fact that he's been murdering the Pelicans. Like, he's been amazing. Have you watched those games, Josh? The Pelicans games?
Not really.
It's a fun series. Like, the Pelicans really fought hard, and they just couldn't put them away. And I think that's going to be what the series is. They just can't put them away. But, like, they fought, like, valiantly. I was really impressed.
I have very little interest in that series because it's like a formality.
Yeah, I mean, I root for the Pelicans because I like that's why I wrote up Drew, where I was like, Drew's the guy who's got to do it. And I think, like, he really brought it in a way. Like, Rondo brought it. Like, Mirotic, to a certain extent, brought it. Those guys just, they care. And I think AD, too. Like, even when AD, I don't know if he played AD a lot last season, but I remember whenever he'd play him and he would have those injuries and he just wouldn't shake them off. And he would go and he'd look like a little bitch. Now, if he gets hurt, he gets up and he, like, looks angry. And he's just, like, he doesn't want to let the team down. And I think that's a pretty noticeable difference.
Going back to that question about is anybody playing a center other than Capella or Gobert, the answer is absolutely no.
I said absolutely no? Oh, was it JaVale McGee or Nene maybe?
Yeah, Gobert's 7,900, then it drops down to McGee at 3,500, Zaza at 3,000, Nene at 2,500. No way.
Yeah, that's not great. I think there's a case to be made for Gobert, maybe, but I think Capella's sort of the obvious play there.
I mean, I like either one of them, but yeah, I would prefer Capella.
Yeah, I agree. Josh, what do you set stupid, dumb optimizer site for NBA for exposure and randomness?
It's different every day depending on the size of the slate.
There you go. Sorry, Alan Brock. Ask more specific questions. Josh, are you chasing the points or looking for value? I don't know what that means.
True.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah, when in doubt, pick C, right? That's how the SATs work.
Yeah, no other good questions.
The SATs, what a bullshit test.
I didn't study for them at all because I was like at my precious high school days where I was like, oh, it's supposed to be aptitude, and all the people were studying since 7th grade, blah, blah, blah. Did fine. Got a 1360, which was out of 1600 back then.
Yeah.
But
no, I didn't study one bit.
Yeah, not enough to be a genius, sadly.
I didn't improve at all from the time I took them in 8th grade till the time I took them in my senior year of high school.
I mean, it's kind of pointless. So you just basically learn how to take the test, but you don't learn anything. Like, even if you get a better score, you're not. I don't know. It always kind of bothered me. Like, it still bothers me now to think about it.
I got a 1280 in 8th grade, and I got a 1280 when I was a senior, but I was super hungover when I took it as a senior.
See, that's why I was nice and straight edge in high school, living not deliberately.
Dude, I remember getting there being like, oh, there's no way I'm going to make this. Like, I'm going to have to leave during it.
Josh, at the end of the stream, can you explain the rules to Do Better one more time? I think we'll close out with that, right? So that they can party this weekend and do that.
Sure, I can handle that.
All right, so Roosevelt Hooker, stay on the stream, and everybody else who wants to learn about Josh's guaranteed fuck you up, fun skill. Really, it's a unique game. So stay on. We'll do that at the end of the stream. Josh will walk you through it, teach you how to get blitzed with your friends this weekend.
If you're lazy as shit like me, you'll appreciate it because it's a sitting down drinking game.
Would you go CP3 or Rondo?
Rondo.
I think Chris Paul's a little contrarian.
I would agree.
But Rondo is a better play. I haven't liked Chris Paul this series. It seems like he's letting Harden do everything, completely content with it.
I just don't think they give a shit about this series. As weird as that sounds. Or at least, I don't think they did. I think they do now.
I think they're going to come out a little angrier tonight.
I agree.
Yeah, but I agree. Like, I think that they kind of phoned it in, and they thought they were just going to come back, and then they didn't. They were sort of a little arrogant on their part, but
I just didn't.
Whatever.
I don't think that they thought Utah could keep up with them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they were surprised. They kind of got it was like a boxing match where they got punched in the mouth, and now they have to either going to wilt or they're going to come back firing.
Yep.
Really, Rondo over Paul? Yeah, I think that's a pretty obvious one. Again, we're talking about a very big team total difference, very big pace difference. Rondo has been stellar. Rondo has outperformed his price both games this series. Chris Paul is not.
Also, let me be clear here. When I answer questions like this, I'm thinking about it relative to price, not who's got who I think is going to score more.
Right. True. Yeah, Rondo not being priced up at all. I mean, though, again, Paul is priced down, at least on DraftKings, a fair amount.
I honestly don't even have a clue what their prices are.
On DraftKings,
basketball, guys.
On DraftKings, Rondo is 7,300. Paul 7,400.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'll take Paul.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. I would still go Rondo personally. I think Rondo's a little safer if Paul is kind of disengaged for whatever reason. But I think Paul's going to be more contrarian tonight because people are just going to see those last two games and be like, he sucks. I just think Rondo's a better play and a safer play.
That's fair.
Yeah, and Carlo's right. Rondo's at home. I mean, that does help too. That is always a known thing, especially for a guy who picks up peripherals. Get a few more steals, get a few more blocks, a few more rebounds, a few more assists that you get credited on the stat sheet, even if they're not as clean of an assist. So that stuff helps out Rondo too at home. Can I play Rondo, Mirotic, and Rondo? Yeah, you can play Rondo, Mirotic, and Rondo. That might be tough to.
You cannot. I'm pretty sure you can't. That'd be an interesting wrinkle if you could roster someone more than once.
Ooh, I would. Yeah, I'd probably roster AD and Harden 4 times, and then just Alec Burks the rest.
It would be an interesting wrinkle. A
stupid one, but an interesting one. What Astros does Frank DeLuca with many emojis have to worry about not being the lineup before cutoff? Are there any Astro injury concerns?
Not that I'm aware of.
Why is that so many emojis?
Oh, Astros lineup just came out, so.
All right, there you go. So the Astros lineup is out, Frank DeLuca, and you're confusing emoji deluge.
And I need to hustle because
deluge.
Fantasy Cruncher is not moving at the speed that I would like it to.
Yeah, well, I got the
So it's going to take a solid 15 minutes to run this crunch, and I'm not going to be able to run any edits. It was so slow one night. I got it in with like 2 seconds to spare. I was like chewing on my cheek. I was so nervous.
Yeah, look, I've long said that as long as that optimizer site doesn't give me anything for free, that they're a piece of garbage, and I firmly agree. Don't use it. Use another one. Use another one that doesn't give me freebies. Should this guy prioritize Didi Gregorius or Gary Sanchez?
You should play 2 lineups with one of each.
That's also a good solution.
Honestly, like either or questions in baseball, I don't even really feel comfortable answering.
Because it could just break different ways depending upon variance.
I have a lot of Yankees in different combinations. I'd be lying if I said I preferred one of those guys to the other.
I think I like Gary a little. I have both, to be honest, in my stacks. But I think Gary's a little better play just because he gives you some sort of safety at catcher. So unless you have a stack who you're going with the Yankees with a good catcher, I would go Gary just because catcher is such a fungible spot that can go either way.
Yeah, like I have more Didi than Sanchez on FanDuel, but that equation changes on DK because of catcher. So,
yep. Who scores more DK fantasy points tonight, Steph Curry or Donovan Mitchell? I think that's an easy Steph Curry for me.
Yeah.
And Mitchell, I think, has some upside still. He missed he again. A thing I look for, in case you haven't noticed, is this guy's missing a lot of shots. Because if a guy is shooting, let's say 25%, and he usually shoots 40%, and his shot volume is pretty consistent, you know that there's a little more upside for him to hit. And that's been particularly helpful with the playoffs because there's been a lot of guys missing a lot of shots. So using that sort of metric, Mitchell looks pretty good tonight. Klay Thompson looks pretty good tonight. Those two in particular stand out because they just missed a lot of shots. And Mitchell was pretty close to value. I think he might have hit value technically. But tonight, he could be better. I still love him in the series though. Curry's a better play, and Curry's starting, and Curry's going to want to, go hard, especially if the Pelicans keep it close. Mitchell or Holiday on FanDuel, Josh?
God damn it. Do I have it open? I don't. Mitchell
All right, well,
Holiday. What are can somebody give me the prices?
Yeah, I have a window with it.
Mitchell. The NBA.
Mitchell is 8.9, and Holiday is 9.0, so about the same price.
I would rather have Drew Holiday.
I agree with that too. I think Holiday's again. He's a guy who's got to do it. If you think the Pelicans hang in the game, it's because Drew Holiday did some stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Gordon. Oh, what is this question? Oh, favorite value play. This is a lot of them. Crowder, O'Neal, Bamute, Iggy, Gordon, Ariza. For me, it's a pretty easy Crowder. Crowder is safer than Gordon. Gordon might have a little more upside, but Crowder also has some upside, so I'm okay with him.
I'll take... Oh, God. None of them? I don't know.
You really?
Crowder?
I've been a converted Crowder guy since that one night where I was like, he's dog shit. And he came out and he was really personally offended by that and used it to fuel his fire. And I respected that about him, that we have that sort of symbiotic relationship. So I've been all over Crowder since, and it's been more good than not. Yep. Drew Wren is right. Crowder is playing mad. And I agree. And I think they need him. They need his feistiness. Like the Jazz, I think, realized in that Thunder series that their starters don't really have an edge. And I think that Crowder gives them that edge. And he also happens to be a pretty good three-point shooter. And they are very willing to give him a lot of threes, which is nice. What are your thoughts on Josh Donaldson today?
Apparently he's going to be hella popular. I have way less than him than what our ownership percentages say most people will have. So I don't know. We have him on the last update on FanDuel at 18%. I had 0. So, I don't know. I don't know how to rectify that. I'm fine with what I have, but 18% of people on a night like tonight, probably not wrong.
That is a fair amount of people backing him. I mean, again, another guy coming back into the lineup, so that's
He's got
good.
a really, really nice price. I don't mind having him as a one-off. The reason that I barely have him is because I don't end up on any Blue Jays stacks. So Donaldson alone is fine if you can make that work in like a 4-3-1 stack. I'm cool with it. He just doesn't appear to be fitting in for me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that makes
We'll find
sense.
out. I'm about to run my final crunch right now. So
Okay. Somebody in the chat saying Derek Favors has played better at home. That is inaccurate. He had one okay game at home in which he barely hit 5x. His one good game in the playoffs was at OKC, and that was in a game where he lost minutes and then kind of rallied back, which is what he was trying to do versus Houston, and then he did not do it because they just didn't give him any good minutes. Who's a good fade tonight? Boom, boom, boom. High price and low price and DK NBA. I would personally see. I don't think anybody's to be honest. I think almost every player is in an okay spot tonight who's high priced. So I think if I were to fade anyone, I would probably fade Mitchell because I think all the guys around him are better plays. If I were to fade a lower priced guy, I would go probably Ariza, I think. Maybe Iguodala. I have a little bit of him, but I think I worry a little bit about him. I don't know. I guess I played enough of him where I probably didn't worry that much. So I
like getting this stuff wrong. I would fade Durant.
Really? Okay. I mean, no, that's not fair. I mean, not bad because he doesn't have as much upside as the other guys in that price range.
If Curry is back and playing a full allotment of minutes, I would happily not have Durant at 10-6 on FanDuel.
Oh, yeah. On DK, he's 9,300.
Okay. So, yeah, we're having two separate conversations.
That guy did specifically ask DK.
Oh, well, fucking whatever.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, again, you could play like any three of those four top guys, the Harden, Davis, Durant, Curry group, and you can make it work with some of the cheapness out there. But I don't think that's what the lineup construction is going to win. It's probably going to be a Rondo tier pricing. Some of those guys in that 7,000 to actually no, 6,500 to $9,000 range on DraftKings. I would load up on those guys because they all look good. Rondo, Mirotic, Holiday seems like too many Pels on DK. No, it is not because they have an insane pace and an insane team total.
And there's only 4 teams that are playing.
Yes, that too. Yeah, it's a pretty key.
12-game slate.
Yeah, I mean,
you
even
have
then,
3 of somebody.
Sure.
Don't you? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, just about. I think you could do two.
You can go 2-2-2-2. I was thinking it was 9 like FanDuel, but it's 8.
No, we got one less digit.
Yeah, it's a lesser site.
People, guys, I think some of you, I worry some of you are overthinking this a little bit. Like, look at the stats, look at the performance this series. Like, nothing is changing in this Pelicans-Warriors series. The Warriors, unless the Pelicans make a conscious choice to slow it down, which they have shown they do not want to do. That series is going to be what it is, and everybody on both sides can hit value. Like, I truly believe that. Yeah, the Pelicans are not playing smart. They need to slow the Warriors down and give them less shots, and they're just willing to run with them. So it might be like a 120, 125 game.
Hopefully it is. That's probably really entertaining.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I love watching these guys run, and they're both pretty good ball passing teams, whereas, the Rockets are more of a slow down, let Harden dribble and draw his stupid bullshit fouls. It's a little tedious.
He's so good.
He is good. He's very good at the things that he does. But, like, if you're comparing the two series, I like the Jazz series because I've been a Jazz guy, but it's not as fun to watch as the Pelicans and the Warriors, I think. Yeah, I love the Pelicans' pace, too. I agree. Anything good? Any good baseball questions since baseball is locking in 12 minutes? You Do Rondo and Holiday affect each other? They did in the regular season a little bit. They do not now because they have shortened their bench substantially. Last game, Ian Clark played 6 minutes, and that was a deliberate choice. So, yeah, I don't think so. Rondo duds, Holiday duds. No, I don't think that's going to happen. The Warriors, even if the Warriors blow them out, they would have to blow them out by so much that the game ends in the third quarter, and that's not a thing that's going to happen. Why can't you roster Bueller on Yahoo? I don't know anything about Yahoo. Josh, got thoughts on Yahoo?
I don't know. Don't they have like a really awful CEO, or is she gone?
I think she's been long gone.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't even think they're Yahoo anymore. They're like a weird name, like Amen or something. It's got like a terribly stupid name.
Oh my God, she got $23 million as she left the company. Whew.
Yeah. Yahoo current name. Like Yahoo merged with something or rebranded as something. Oath. That's what it is.
Why Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer is the least likable CEO in tech.
She was really one of the first. She got it pretty bad because she was one of the first prominent women in that role, and I think like they kind of targeted her a little. Not that it matters because she got paid so much, and she wasn't a great CEO or anything, but it felt a little like if it happened now, I think there'd be a lot of Jezebel thought pieces about how or they need to be nicer to Marissa Mayer.
Probably, yeah.
How do we feel? How do you feel about Etuan Moore?
He's just a guy. Like, I have a hard time going to Etuan Moore with any confidence tonight.
I do not mind him, but I think that there are slightly better plays in that range. I would go Burks over Moore personally. I'm a little reluctant to say that because there's some variability with both, but I think Burks is pretty safe in terms of if he gets some minutes. Tucker, Iggy, or Moore on FanDuel, all about the same price. If they're all about the same price, it's a tough call. What would you do that? Tucker, Iguodala, or Etuan?
Iguodala, probably?
Yeah, I think Iguodala. I think judging by the rosters that I made, I think Iguodala ended up on more than Moore. And I like Tucker though. I think at least on DraftKings his price is a little better. I think he's 3,800 there and 4,600 on FanDuel. So tougher call there. Tucker's been good though, so tough call. Well, Palka homer again. I don't predict if people don't home run. I only predict if they do. He is not my pick for today, so I don't think he's going to carry the momentum over tonight personally.
Too bad.
Stack. Kai Khosrow. Kai Khosrow. I think that must be it. Stacked all the point guards today. I think that's a very savvy move. I think you can go Rondo, Holiday, Paul, some Burks. But I think you could get a bunch of those guys in there, and you might be a little contrarian because of the way that it works, especially on DK. I think that's a pretty good move.
No, boob. Leak is not a good play.
What a boob.
What a boob is right.
Double Deuce. Any love for Exum tonight? I have a lot. I think there's some risk though because has not been a proven great player. But I think the usage rate's there. I think the minutes have been there. He was on the floor for crunch time, which for Kevin Love was something I looked at as a sign that he might rebound in game 2 rather. So I think that there was similar signs there for Exum where he was on the court, he was hitting shots. I think you could see him getting 20 minutes, Burks being around 20, 25. So I think both those guys are viable. They need PJ for D and rebounds. I agree, but I think there's also a world where if PJ picks up some fouls, they go to Mbah Moute, and Mbah Moute does similar stuff. Or Ariza gets going, and Ariza takes a few minutes. There's a couple ways that PJ could fail.
True. There's a lot of ways he could fail. He's not a great DFS player.
Yes, that's true. He's been good the last 2 games, but he's a bit of a mirage play, I think. Like I still like him enough, but I worry about the sustainability of his role. Exum's good, too. Yeah, Exum is good. I think Exum's a good player. To be clear, I think he's a good player. I think his results haven't been there fully yet. But as a per-minute player, yeah, he's been fine.
I'm anxious to see what his contract looks like.
Oh, is he a free agent?
He'll be he might just be a full free agent. Maybe no, he's a restricted free agent.
He's got the size and stuff, and he started at least he's shooting threes for the Jazz, so he kind of fits what the NBA is going towards. But the best of both the old NBA and the new NBA. Don't play Exum. Leo Burks, I'm going to disagree. I say do play Exum. But
he can't shoot worth shit, by the way.
He hit 3 threes.
What was his shooting percentage this year? Or for his career? Had to be terrible.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a great one overall. But you know what? Crowder's isn't great either, and Crowder's been hitting threes in the Jazz system. They try to just get anybody looks. Favors will shoot a three sometimes. It's more of a symptom of the way that they run that offense. So I'm okay with it.
He's a 29% three-point shooter for his career. Real bad.
It's not great, but he's also been hurt a lot. It's a different year. I think that he's a player too where there isn't enough data on him to really make a full read. Do you think that Jay Crowder is going to put up 25 to 30 on FanDuel tonight? I think so. I think Jay Crowder's a great play.
He could.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
We should just answer every question like that. It's possible. Maybe.
It is.
Yeah.
So if anybody's curious, Yankees, Twins, Astros, and A's are my 4 teams tonight.
Who's your favorite Twin?
Oh, I wanted to have a really good joke there, but I don't have anything. I have the most of Brian Dozier.
Seems due for a bounce back.
I'm way above the field on Max Kepler and Eddie Rosario.
And Rosario's the guy.
Joe Mauer. So give me Max Kepler as my favorite Twin tonight.
I like Rosario the most. Rosario was a Dong of the Day finalist for me, but I went a different way. But yeah, I think that Rosario looks good to me. Rosario also has been good for me a couple times this week, so I might be developing a little bias for him. But
I have no idea how Alex can manage all of these exposures and get them into Fantasy Cruncher and get that shit back out of Fantasy Cruncher. Yeah, I see things that I want to change right now, but I would have needed to start Fantasy Cruncher 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't know how you pro people do that. Even when we were doing the stream and I was trying to use Fantasy Cruncher to do lineups, I couldn't do it. I'm grateful it's the playoffs now and I'm not adjusting and just getting Tim Quartermans of the world locked in my lineup. But Fantasy Cruncher really lets me down a lot close to lock, or at least it did a few times.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I get it here. That's a really complex algorithm to pick out 2 stacks with the best stuff and 150 lines with unique ownerships. It'll only get better and better, or at least it should, as computing power gets better. But
yeah,
there are changes that I want to make that I'm just not able to make right now, and I'm not really happy about it.
Yeah, that's why, I like making mine by hand, because I noticed when I was doing, even 20, 25 lineups on Fantasy Cruncher, sometimes there would just be bad mixes of lineups, and I didn't manually kind of go through, and I don't love that, because sometimes I see things which I know are I don't want to go with this particular play. I don't want to play the center and his backup. And I get why that it's all math. I get that part, but
I have 16% Joe Mauer. We're projecting him at 1%. Which seems oddly low, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just say that that's true. I'd really like to bring Mauer down to 8%. Allow me to diversify in other places with more ownership somewhere else, and then still be significantly over the field.
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely, that's the thing too, where we've talked about mass multi-answering lineups and how that's much tougher than it seems. That's one where I would definitely worry about, if I ever started to do that. Just the fear of being oh fuck, I didn't have enough of this guy, and it just somehow it's a trickle down effect where I just lost all the money.
I need to be making no. What it's telling me now, and I'm learning a lesson on this live stream as we're talking. So people, pay attention to this. I need to make every single one of. I need to run my crunch in the morning, make every single person have a unique exposure from the jump, and then start running it. That way, I probably have that sort of shit mostly set from the beginning, because ultimately not that much is going to change throughout the day. we're getting
Right.
1 or 2 trickle-in lineups late. I could have most of this done. So I learned a lesson. There you go, people.
Yeah, I mean, it's been nice for me just doing my lineups before we start the stream, so I know I'm not panicking. Even with baseball, which I admittedly, like, I haven't put as much effort into until, like, this week. Like, I definitely have been, like, I'm going to get them done, and then if there's lineup news that sucks, I'll tweak it as we go. Oh, boys, chat? What do you mean, Fernando Gomez? We're looking at the chat. Draymond tonight on FanDuel looks completely fine to me at 9K. I think he's still a pretty good shot at 5X, maybe more. So it depends, though. Like, FanDuel, I think you really need these 5X guys tonight. I think he's pretty safe there, even with Curry back. I think it didn't affect him last game much. Anything good?
How many Red Sox did I end up with? Probably not a lot, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't have any Red Sox in my 4 lineups. Big dog.
I have a very small amount of Mookie Betts, and that's it.
Oh, hello, Fernando, then. That was an odd way to greet us both, but I appreciate the gesture. Good manners by you. Drop a pen on the Yankees, take 2 to 3. I don't know what advice that means. In general, you should stack, if you like a lineup, stack more than less. So if you like the Yankees like I do tonight, I have 5 Yankees, and I'm completely content with it. One of whom is my home run pick, and I'm looking forward to Miguel Andujar adding his name to the rich history of Daniel Palka and Ryan Healy and Lorenzo Cain, but he doesn't technically count.
Well, I have 17% Andujar, so let's hope that goes well.
You know what? Like, somehow it's going to fuck up the whole system here, and it's going to ruin it. So I got to pick guys that aren't even on your, like, fantasy cruncher.
I need to write this down. I'm going out to dinner shortly, so. Yankees, Twins, Astros, A's.
I like those A's. And the Yankees. Do we have slam dunks today? Slam dunks have not come out, but keep an eye on the Osimo_com Twitter, and they will be there, I'm sure, before lock.
Yeah.
Sometimes takes a little longer because Alex is, again, juggling shitty fantasy cruncher and all these other things. Oh, sorry. Shitty optimizer I don't talk about. Anything good? Let's give us... Oh, should we do... Do you want to do doo-doo butter?
You tell me.
We want to do it. I'm just seeing if there's anything else we need to hit for basketball.
I mean, I don't... Oh, actually, yeah, I need to officially get my lines in.
Yeah, let's do that part. Let's confirm all your stuff. Alan Brock, you're right about Ingles. Ingles has been totally fine. Again, on DraftKings, all these guys look completely fine, and I think that's the trick. That's the Jedi mind trick they're trying to get you with. So that's why I'm a little more in on Burks and Exum, and honestly PJ Tucker, because those guys can get you maybe 7x value, and a little less into the super expensive guys because those guys might not be able to get there. I just feel like there's something weird with the prices that I feel like I'm like being like lured into some sort of windowless van where there's going to be somebody breathing on my neck soon. But
great van?
yeah, you know, a free dogs, free puppies van.
Great van, in my opinion. Who wouldn't want a free puppy? They'd get me.
No downside.
They would get me for sure. If they were like free boxer puppies, I'd be like, shit, what's up? Oh, I'm getting raped.
But, you know, the puppy's there, so just pet the puppy. Focus on that.
Yeah, but I won't focus on the butt pain.
What about Darius Miller? No Darius Miller for me. I think with the Pelicans, stick to the main guys. Stick to your Holidays, your Rondos, your Davis, your Mirotic. And if you want to get a little spicy in the bedroom, bring in each one more. But
I'd rather
not
have
Darius.
Percy Miller.
Percy Miller he's the NXT announcer, right?
No, he's Master P.
Oh, damn it. I knew the name. Percy Watkins is the NXT announcer.
Yeah. That's me doing
Peter...
Master P.
Okay, I thought you were panicking over your lineups. I didn't realize I was Master P.
It's the same sound as a really difficult bowel movement.
Diallo, no Diallo. Diallo only if you think it's getting blown out. These guys are not getting minutes. Ian Clark, too, not getting minutes. It's just the main guys. They are going full Game 7 mode. Especially tonight, they cannot go down 3-0. And you go down 3-0 by playing Ian Clark. And I like Diallo, but that's how you go down 3-0. Stick with your starters. Do the LeBron mode.
All right, I got my DK regular lines done.
Okay. Any wild changes?
A lot more Capella now.
Yeah, Capella makes sense.
I'll read them off. Mirotic, Capella, Eton Moore, AD, Clay, Steph. Those are my top guys.
They all make sense. Clay's price, really good.
Yeah. So apparently I like Eton Moore, so just in case anybody was curious. Now, I also have 20 pick'em lines to do because I'm weird as shit today. So let's do those.
Curious about this pick'ems. This pick'em is like showdown, but just like 2 games?
It's just like groups of people, so it'll be like Chris Paul, James Harden, I'm just making names. Chris Paul, James Harden, AD, and Steph Curry, and you got to pick one out of that group, and you build your lineup.
Oh,
like
I actually played that.
Predetermined player pools.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't love those, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it either, really.
Yeah, but you know what? I admire your willingness to do some different things.
You were like, yo, you should play on DK tonight. I was like, okay.
It wasn't a hard sales pitch. I thought I'd have to convince a little more and maybe extol the virtues of the pricing. But
I probably could have just entered one tournament instead of spending $40 on it, but whatever.
Did you have a lot of Draymond, or did you not have much Draymond?
I have some Draymond.
Okay.
I didn't see it, so it's less than 50%.
Okay. Yeah, so not a crazy amount of Draymond for Josh. I like Draymond a bit more, but I think, the temptation is going to be to go up to pay for some better guys or to go to Capella. So I think that's also why I kind of like Draymond a little more. He's at a little bit of a weird price. So, trying to think contrarian so I don't end up in a 100-way tie.
All right, I've got AD and Mirotic at 75% of my pick'ems. Then Curry is next at 50%, and then it's just a smattering of dudes. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Okay. That makes sense. Curry's a great play. Curry is a guy, he showed the same upside, like he got to 5x and limited minutes off the bench. So why wouldn't he do more tonight?
That's what I'm thinking, obviously.
Yeah. Ryan Anderson better get some minutes. Ryan Anderson's not getting any fucking minutes, man.
I've got him in for 7 minutes, I think.
Yeah, no, that is... No, I think you were barking up the wrong tree. Again, hey, look, you want to have one guy out of 150 if you're doing that life? Sure, put in Ryan Anderson, but do not bank on Ryan.
David West and pick him.
David West isn't bad. He was a slam dunk last weekend. He lived up to the hype.
Yeah. It's pick 'em, so you're picking between David West and other pieces of shit. So I probably shouldn't have called him a piece of shit before I have to roster him. That's bad mojo.
Is one of the other pieces of shit Exum though? Because that's a pretty tasty piece of shit. It's a Mr. Hanky quality piece of shit.
Is Fantasy Cruncher really giving me lineups that don't work? Lineup needs to contain players spanning multiple games. Well, then fucking do that. That's not my fault.
David West is not at home. David West is on the road.
Why would this give me a lineup that's wrong on purpose?
I see what you're saying, Alan Brock. I'm with you. I don't know. That's not ideal. Maybe they're not. Just nobody plays pick'em, so they don't know.
I don't. This is annoying as shit.
My most expensive guy today is Curry. Thoughts on fading the most expensive guys? I think that's a perfectly fine thought, David Mangler. I think that there's, like I said before, a lot of guys in that 6K to 9K range who look really great. All of them, I think, have 50-point upside. So, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I don't know. I'm doing weird voices today. I think it's Friday.
Well, I've got pickup lines in, so we're good to go.
Okay, good job. Guys, get your basketball questions in now. Let's talk doo-doo butter. Let's do the slam dunks are out. Who are the slam dunk picks? So we'll give that first.
Slam dunks are somebody in Gobert, Mirotic and Gobert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems fair to me. On both sides.
No distinction of sight.
Okay.
So yeah.
There you go. Mirotic and Gobert both make sense to me. Mirotic, I think, is going to be a very steady play. Capella might have a little more upside, but Mirotic is at Gobert rather is at a totally fine price, and he's at home. So again, a little more bonuses for rebounds and blocks and stuff. Since Adam liked Rondo over Holiday, I like Holiday over Rondo, so fade them both. What? I don't need. Do whatever you want to do, Drew. Doo-doo butter. Let's talk doo-doo butter. And then if you guys have any last basketball questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll hit them before we log off. But Josh, explain this game that you've created, which is sweeping the nation and getting used drunk all over the globe.
Okay, so key tenets of this game. 2 chairs seated at normal beer pong distance from each other. Put a towel down at your feet. 2 cups, standard beer pong style cups. One filled with water to like a normal amount. The other filled with your standard amount of beer, as in beer pong. Place them anywhere on the towel. You shoot back and forth from a seated position, attempting to make either cup. Doesn't matter which one. So if I were shooting and I made a cup, you have to return the ball to me before you're able to start drinking. At any point, I can call shot to try and make that cup that you're holding. You just have to freeze wherever you're at. More often than not, you don't want to do that unless somebody is forgetful and is leaving it hanging. You can take a shot at it. If you make that shot, they have to either shotgun a beer or beer bong a beer. But mostly you don't want to. You just want them to drink it. So you play to 7, win by 2. If you get to 6, you have to fill your beer up to the absolute brim of the cup. Sometimes that works like a springboard. Sometimes it works like a baseball glove. It sort of depends on the angle.
Interesting.
Yeah. So sometimes it pops itself out. Sometimes it's like it swallows it.
It's like a dick.
Yeah. So if I'm shooting at you and I make 6 in a row, we'll say. So I'm up 6-0. I then fill my beer cup to the brim. I am still shooting at you. If I make one, it's over. If you make mine, then I have to finish that full beer and then fill it right back up to the top of the cup again. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. So there's nothing worse than someone getting out to a big lead and the other person coming back. Because the person that got out to that big lead is probably like 3 or 4 beers down in that game.
It's like demoralizing and alcoholic. So really the 2 things you look for when you're drinking.
Yeah, it makes you become a better closer because there are stakes involved if you start missing. And then you get in your own head. If you miss like 2 or 3 times with that full cup, like you're shook mentally. That was my problem. I was mentally fragile.
I've always been a little bit clutch in these types of things, so I feel like the clutch gene on my personal data, my stats would look pretty good.
Who would be like a good example of me? I'd be like a really good. I'm like I don't know, like Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
I feel like I'm more like Kobe, where like the ones that were really good people remember, and I remember, but it would probably been 24 missed ones in between, which just go by the wayside.
Simmons talks about it. I'm a good shot, or I'm a good stats bad team guy.
I like that. I think it's a good way to close out the week. No good questions left. Actually, question about Exum. We've talked up Exum all. I have talked up Exum all night. I like Exum. Some people think he's going to bust. I think he's going to bust on those people's faces.
Dr. Pepper 2323. There are no repercussions if you call a shot and you miss. You just lose the shot. They are then up. I did miss one key tenet of the game. So if I make my shot, you do have an opportunity to redeem said shot. That's
okay.
Par for the course.
Yeah, a little bit of beer pong rules sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, guys. There you go. That's the stream. Now we know doo-doo butter. We'll reference this moving forward. Is Crowder a fade based on ownership on DK? Sure. But I would go the way of trying to not outsmart yourself and play the guy who's pretty good. If you think the guy's going to bust. What? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't play that guy. Here you go. Last NBA question. Pick NBA winners tonight.
Warriors. Rockets.
I'll go Pelicans, Rockets. I want the Pelicans to pick up one. I believe in those guys. I like them. Nobody's a lock, Drew. Nobody's a lock. There we go. Thank you guys for tuning in this week every night. Thank you for being great in the chat, for having awesemo.com premium memberships, which I'm sure every single one of you have. And if you don't, what are you even doing with your life? Just figure it out. Get a membership. It'll give you so many different things to make you better than the other players who think that people are going to be low owned. Sometimes in this chat, people are wildly wrong, and you would just know that if you had an awesemo.com premium membership. Go sign up. Go check it out. Also, if you haven't done it yet, go to playline.com/r/awesemo. Go join up. Join our contest. We're all in it right now. Kevin Durant's lines, Anthony Davis's lines, James Harden's lines. If you guess the stats that they are going to put up tonight, you can win $2,000, $2,500, $2,000,
$2,000.
Okay, $2,000. So you can get $2,000, and if you somehow guessed right, like all the stats completely right, you get $1 million. So that's pretty cool. And if you beat Awesemo's 40 lineups, you will also win a free awesemo.com premium membership. So a lot going on in that contest. You got to do.
I've got 3% more than the field of Bryce Harper. So, woo!
Oh, good for you. Good for you. All right, maybe you'll redeem yourself from the tragic losses at the hands of Solarte last night.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if everybody in this chat actually does have premium, I want to raise.
Yeah, that would actually be a pretty good deal for all of us.
That's a staggering amount of revenue.
If everybody who ever watches a YouTube video, just get premium so we can be happy about it and then ask for more money. Help us out. But thank you guys, and we will see you again next week. Josh, any parting shots or words?
Go Yankees, Twins, Astros, and A's.
Especially Miguel Andujar, our favorite home run pick.
Dude, I hope he goes yard. Wait, did that game start? Oh, it did start. Let me check his ownership first, and then we'll go. Well, actually, you know what? We can just go, and I can keep doing that.
Whatever, that's fine. All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye,